Hi, my name is Trisha and I am an occupational therapy assistant. Today I am going to be working with a young gentleman who has been diagnosed with MS, and we are going to be working on energy conservation and fatigue management techniques. The patient I am working with has complained of getting very tired and fatigued throughout the day, just doing regular ADLs. So, we are going to do some sample interventions that will help him with his fatigue and so that he is able to do the things that he wants to do throughout the day rather than just doing his ADLs. Before we can start actually doing occupational therapy, I wanted to get an assessment of the client that I'm going to be working with. And for the interventions, we are going to be working on dressing and toileting. So I needed to assess him using the FIM. And with his upper body dressing, I have evaluated him as a 4. And with the lower body dressing, I have evaluated him as a 4 also. With toileting, I evaluated him as a 5. So we want to make sure to get those up before we can discharge him to go back home. So since we were working on fatigue management, we wanted to make sure that the patient is as close to the door as possible when getting out of bed. So here's our patient, and he is sitting on edge of bed right now. It is a Tuesday night, and one of the things that we wanted to make sure to do for fatigue management was to get out his clothes the night before and set them out for the next morning so that he doesn't have to wake up and then go get his clothes and then also get dressed. So that's what we're going to do, and we are going to be using a couple of adaptive equipments. So the first few pieces of adaptive equipment that we have is 3 different types of reachers. These 2 are longer types of reachers to reach farther things that are away from you, and this one is to reach things that are closer to you. And then we also have a cane. This isn't necessarily a cane to have balance. It wiggles like this, but it's just to give yourself some support as you are walking. So as I said before, it is a Tuesday night and we are going to get his clothes ready for the next morning. So we're going to be using the cane. Alright, you can get up and go. As I said before, this is not necessarily for balance, it's just for the fatigue management part. He's first going to grab his socks out of the drawer. And next he's going to grab his sweater. He's back to the edge of the bed. We're going to put the clothing in an in an area that is easily accessible for him in the morning. And then he's going to sit back edge of bed and get ready for nighttime. So now it is the next morning on Wednesday. We are going to get him up out of bed, sitting on edge of bed. We put his reachers right behind him in an easy accessible spot. He is going to use the shorter reacher to get his socks because they are closer to him. And then he's going to use a longer reacher to grab his sweater. And then he's going to put them on while sitting still because standing will get you more tired faster. We could also use a sock aid for this part, but I do not have one that is accessible. That would help with the energy conservation part. So next what we are going to be doing is a toilet transfer. So we are going to get up, still using his little cane walker. I'm going over to the bathroom. It's nice because the bathroom is right outside of the room and easy for him to walk to. So as I said before, we are now going to be using the toilet. And this cane is nice because it is a rotated cane. And this is also a good time for the patient to just sit down and relax after getting dressed and having to get up and walk. It is important for one to sit down and take a minute to breathe and relax rather than trying to do a lot of activities at once. Okay, so for breakfast, we are going to be making some eggs and turkey bacon with some applesauce and grapes. So first we are going to be prepping by getting everything out and setting it up. Next we're going to need to get a plate. Put out some grapes. Okay. So after we have finished completing the breakfast, he is going to sit over on his chair. He's going to set it down. He's going to carefully sit down with his coffee and watch whatever show he would like to watch, just to relax for a little while and to regain some of his energy. So now that breakfast is over, it is time to go back to the bathroom and take a shower and brush his teeth. We're first going to start off with sitting down to conserve some of his energy and take his clothes off. Taking them off while standing will waste energy. So now we're going to actually get into the shower, and we want to make sure that he has his reacher. So this shower is good because it has a seat so he can sit down and do all of the activities that he wants to do. We grabbed the reacher because he needs to get the loofah, and so this will conserve some energy rather than having to sit up and grab it. So now we're going to get up and get out of the shower and put the reacher down, dry off a little bit. Grab his cane, and then we're going to walk over and brush our teeth. So now we are going to brush his teeth. He's going to get everything all ready. An energy conservation technique for this is to go over and sit on the toilet to expend less energy by standing. So now that he's done brushing his teeth, he is going to get back up and finish all up. So now that he is done brushing his teeth, he's going to walk back over and put some clothes back on. These are clean clothes since we just got them out this morning. And it's good to sit down while doing it also to conserve some energy.
Okay.
Excuse the birds. Nice. So the next activity that we're going to do is we are going to get up after everything is all said and done for his morning routine. I'm going to go back into the living room, sit back down, relax a little bit, and what he likes to do as a part of his everyday is to prioritize his tasks, and so this will give him enough time to figure out what he wants to do throughout the day while still keeping in mind that he needs to manage his fatigue and just get done the things that he wants to get done. So these are just a few of the everyday tasks that a patient with MS can do to try to conserve their energy and really help out with their muscle fatigue. by first setting out his clothes that he wanted to wear the next day, the night before. That really helped him the next day so that he didn't have to get up and then go grab all of his clothes and then on top of that get dressed. So that was a good energy conservation method. And then by having the patient sit on the edge of bed while getting dressed rather than having them stand up, that really helped him with the muscle fatigue rather than having to use his legs by standing the whole entire time. It helped by sitting down. You didn't have to use as much of your body as you would while you were standing up. And then by having the patient wake up and get a good breakfast to really rejuvenate him, this helps him to get his energy levels up rather than having a crappy breakfast and making him feel more tired, making him feel like he wants to go back and maybe take another nap right as he wakes up. And then when the patient went and took a shower, it was very helpful that there is a chair next to the shower so that they can sit down while getting undressed rather than having to stand up, and it is also helpful to have a bench or some kind of ledge in the shower so that they don't have to be standing the whole entire time while using their hands and almost every single part of your body to save some more energy. Lastly, in the morning, it was important for the patient to come back after his shower and to sit down and organize his day out and make sure that he gives himself enough rest breaks throughout the day to actually be able to complete the activities that he wants to do, and make sure that he is able to do everything that he is planning on rather than not being able to do everything because he is tired and fatigued. So these are just some of the ways that can help a patient with MS by conserving their energy and their muscle fatigue. Thank you.